Hi everybody, I am going to show you guys the ultimate deployment binder. This is something that I recommend every spouse of a military member to have. This will hold all your important documents, any self-motivating things you may need, budgets, goals, kind of a whole range of items. And I'm going to show you kind of how I have it set up. Now, I would not recommend the specific order. This is just how I'm doing it for display. But there will be lots of things in here that you can choose to use or not to use depending on your needs. So this is a fun way to do important dates depending on how long your service member is gone. We got January, February, March, all the way down to December. You can put birth dates on each one. You can put homecoming dates. You can put their leave dates. Whatever it is, this is a location where you can do that in a cute little fun way. Then we have a monthly planner that you can print for each month where you can have maybe just simple to-dos. This one's a smaller one, however, I do have a bigger one later on. But yeah, you can do to-dos and notes. This is all the same color theme throughout. Eventually, I would like to create multiple different types of colors and themes. This is just the first edition being sent out. Here is a weekly planner that you can print out multiples of and kind of just put the highlights of your week on if there's anything specific. Then we have the daily planner. Same, I love this little exercise one where I have like weightlifting, running, stretching, yoga, water, whatever it is that you want to do, money made and spent. Like, it's depending on how very specific you want to get with your day. Then the one thing that I feel like a lot of us as spouses tend to forget is our self-care during deployments. We are focused on our families and our spouses and just survival mode. So this is something that I really wanted to implement in this deployment binder because you are important and you need to take care of yourself both physically and mentally. So this is a different way depending on how you want to structure it. Is a place that you can refer to when you know that you need some self-care. What was your plans, original plans? You know, what are things that you like to do on an occasion, whether that's maybe a massage, maybe it's therapy, maybe it's going to the gym, like whatever it is, like this is where you can put that in your binder. Meal planning. I love to meal plan, so this was perfect for me. We have the weekly meal planner. So you got Monday through Sunday. That's how I set up most of my days, is Monday through Sunday. Sundays are normally when I prep for the next week. And then we have our grocery list, produce/meat, frozen pantry, beverages/dairy, kind of just that overall simple way you can set that up and then take that to the grocery store with you. These are my challenges. So for our upcoming deployment, I'm going to try to do $100 for each of these flowers. This is something that you get to color in, have fun with. Then you have a 30-day challenge where you can be whatever you want that challenge to be, whether that's reading a chapter of a book or running a mile every day or whatever it is. Pinterest has so many ideas and you just fill it in and mark it off when you're completed. Then we have the debt payoff, which I think is very important to focus on during deployment if you do have debt. If you have that extra income coming in, such as per diem, family separation pay, all that, that should be something that I believe should definitely be to better your future. And if you have debt, that can hold you back. And so this is something I felt important to add. Also a bill tracker. So let's say if maybe your service member is the one who normally runs the bills and now you have to, this is a good way for you guys to set that up. And so you know what day, what amount and everything, what bill it is for that to be due and that you need to make that payment on. The deployment budget, same thing as before. If let's say your service member is usually the one running the budget, this is how you guys can go through it before deployment of how that's going to be structured most months. Obviously some months will be different. Definitely communication will be important there. Income tracker. So I added this because deployment, you'll have different types of pay coming in. For instance, on our deployments, we have per diem, we have family separation, we have flight pay normally, but that's, you have multiple different types of income that could come in. I'm also a freelancer, so I get none of my pay. I have no structure in my pay. I just have like a minimum like goal monthly, so this is something where I can also keep track, so that's kind of a cool thing. Mental health check. This is just, you know, if you feel like you're kind of running low, what are you doing? Like, are you participating in hobbies? Are you talking about your problems to somebody? Are you attending events? Like, if you're not doing any of those, then that's something where you need to star the ones that you need to do and then make that happen. Because again, you are important, and don't forget about you during this, you know, hard time, because deployments are never ever easy. Then we have a password tracker. Some people like their passwords and everything on paper. For me, I will have my like LastPass information to where they can access all my passwords online, because that's how I do everything now. It's much easier that way. So let's say if something was to happen to me and my mom needed to get into something, like she could find this binder and she will have that information that she needs to help with whatever. Then I have a to-do list that you can print out multiple times and do. Then I have a deployment prep list. Again, this is just, you know, suggestions. These are kind of just the same things over and over. Update your will, update beneficiary information, create power of attorney if you need it, update dependent ID cards, update driver license and passports, kind of just all that legal stuff that you might end up forgetting. And this can kind of help get you prepared for deployment that way with your spouse. Goals. I believe it is very important to set goals during deployment. Our first 2 deployments have been with newborns. So this is the first one where I can really just focus on my goal setting. And on another video, I will go over what my goals for the next however many months of his deployment I have. I'm going to lay those out. And then we get to some deployment information. So this is going to be your service member deployed mobile address, if you can send care packages, the ombudsman information. For other branches, we're United States Navy, so this might be different for other branches, I'm not quite sure. And then you have your command emergency contact. Then we have your service member information. So this is something I came up with because I want it to be easy. Let's say if you are care package shopping or someone texts you and they want to send your service member something, where you have like that information with you in one spot. So you have shirt size, pant size, shoe size, ring size, hat size, glove size, favorite color, favorite sports team, video game station. Obviously you could, you know, X those out and make that something else. This is just what made me think of my husband, so I'm like, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. Then you have for power of attorney / legal reasons. So this might be something where if you have to set up doctor's appointments for you and your kids, they always ask for like Garrett's information. So this is easy for me to have everything in one spot if I don't have it memorized, which I'm terrible about memorizing, so this is very helpful to me. Then we have care packages. So this goes up to 12 care packages in this package. The other ones are in the back, but you can do like the date of the care package, and then put the key items that you want to put in it, or maybe something he asked for or they asked for. And so that's kind of how that one comes in. Contact list, same thing as the passwords. Contacts lists are really kind of mute at this point with cell phones, but there are certain ones you want to have, or let's say you want your kids to have access to if anything was to happen. This would be a good place to write it down. Then we have a house sitter, let's say if you need one. Babysitter, same thing, special notes. Let's say if you had a kid with allergies or something, this is a paper that you can reuse or utilize when you are leaving the house with your kids in someone else's care. Then we have your dependent information. So that's just everything also, again, one spot. And what I like to do is have this right before the birth certificates and social security cards, because normally I leave this in the safe during normal times, or I'll leave it in my parents' safe if we are visiting Iowa for a time, but this will come with me if we're traveling, because if medical reasons, emergencies, like this is my go-to binder for everything. Reading log, for those who like to have reading challenges. I know that's probably 50-50 out there. I'm definitely I've turned into much more of an audiobook girl, podcasts, but I'm still trying to get into physical books. So this is something I'm going to try to utilize this deployment. Insurance information, we got home, auto, or home renter, auto, health, life. And then we have a blank one that you can fill in if you want to do that instead. We got medical information right here. vehicle information, you know, maintenance or something like that. Put the last date something was done. So like for my husband's vehicle, that we will be taking the insurance off of it once I get it into the garage after I finish cleaning it out. And then for the next several months, that will be, you know, not being touched. Same with home maintenance. This helps allow you to set up, okay, you know, maybe in April I need to power wash the house or hire someone. I need someone to mow the yard all 12 months of the year. If I can't do it, things like that. This just helps kind of keep track or reminds you, hey, it's January. I need to call to set up this, and this to happen. This is the big monthly calendar that I was explaining earlier. I believe it can be very useful. It is blank, so that way you have everything set up for yourself. Now, the only thing is I do start from Monday to Sunday, as I mentioned earlier. That's how I view my weekdays. However, I can definitely create a different one where everything is Sunday to Monday for those who might use it that way. Then we have packing lists. So the packing list is something that if you and your service member are prepping for deployment, you can kind of write out a list of things that he needs or he will be taking with him. Or I say he because I'm so used to my husband, but your service member. And this will help like be able to track what they also bring back, because I know like my husband lost some things last deployment. It might also be a reminder to send them a picture of it and be like, hey, don't forget to make sure you have all this stuff, you know, just kind of that ordeal if there are certain things that are important. Travel planner. So if you plan on doing any traveling with yourself, with your kids, with your family, whatever it is, while during deployment, you can kind of help plan this out. Makes it cute and fun. Then we have a journal piece where I just did the cute little dog tags and some flowers to go with the theme. But these are like the little dots. You can draw whatever. I know some people are into that. I'm gonna utilize it, and I think it'll be fun. This I got from an idea from some friends. During deployments, they like to grab a big map for their kids to track their spouses. So I'm like, okay, well, it won't be big, but this would still be a fun way where you can pinpoint everywhere that your service member is and keep it in your binder. And then last but not least, we have the deployment countdown. So there's two ways that you can utilize this, because one, you never really know the specific date your spouse is getting home, your service member's getting home. So, and that's for safety reasons, a lot of it. And second, that the military is so unbelievably, like, you can't rely on anything. So you can go either mark it out from day 1 to up if that's something you're interested in, or you can start from like the back, which I go up to 364 days. So it goes up to a year it goes up for a year. But otherwise you can put it forward and then mark backwards if you know how many days until they're estimated to come home, which I am actually doing it that way for our current deployment. So that is the ultimate deployment binder. And I hope that you will be able to find enjoyment in it like I did.